What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. And today I'm going to be making a quick little video on Mara, Marathon Digital Holdings, and why this might be a good investment if you're interested in diversifying your portfolio and expanding into the cryptocurrency market. So before I start explaining what Mara does as a company and all this other stuff, which, by the way, timestamps in the description if you don't want to watch the whole video, I do want to say thank you for all the new subscribers. We're sitting at 248 subs, which is amazing. That's awesome. Thank you. And also, I got some free stocks from someone who used my referral code from Webull, so thank you for whoever that was too. Really appreciate it. And yeah, let's get on to the video. So I do want to start with a TLDR of basically what this whole video is going to be about. And basically, Mara is a crypto mining company, and they are different in comparison to Riot or HUD-9 or HUD-8, I believe. But they're different from them because they have a higher hash rate. And as you can see right here, what is EHS? That basically stands for hash rate. And a higher hash rate is equivalent to higher production of Bitcoin. More Bitcoin is equal to higher revenue. And it's a little bit more complex than just, you want to produce more Bitcoin. I have a simplified equation down here below, which I'll review in a second, but more complex than just Bitcoin. Higher hash rates is equal to more Bitcoin production. And I'll explain this little hypothetical before I get to the final line. So I have a simplified equation. Now keep in mind, this is very much oversimplified. And my equation that I wrote is Bitcoin produced times the price of Bitcoin is equivalent to revenue. Now the reason why I say it's simplified is, realistically, you have to subtract like the cost of the electricity, cost of like producing the miners and buying all the things and paying rent for the spaces and all this other stuff. So this is just a very simple equation for how you can get an idea of how much money they'll be producing. So the way that you find that number is you get the amount of Bitcoins that they can produce and multiply it by the price of Bitcoin. Now this is constantly changing. Every second, Bitcoin goes up and down. So this number, we don't really know what it's going to be like in 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years. Now, BTC produced, that is more easily predicted if we know the hash rate of the Bitcoin miners. So right here down below, I have a hypothetical where Mara produces 10,000 Bitcoin per year. And if in 1 year, Bitcoin is worth $40,000, which is actually what it's sitting at right now, then they would be netting $400 million in revenue. But if they have produced, again, that same amount, 10,000 Bitcoin, but if Bitcoin is then valued in 1 year at $60,000, they're netting $600 million. So it's a very massive difference. And it all fluctuates depending on the price of Bitcoin, which is why I said at the beginning of the video, if you're bullish on crypto, if you're bullish on Bitcoin, then Mara is just one way that you can invest indirectly into Bitcoin. So basically with this whole equation, what I'm trying to get at is that a higher hash rate has a multiplicative effect on the revenue produced. So ideally, you want to work on getting that hash rate as big as possible, as high as possible, so that you can produce more Bitcoin. And then, this is out of their control. The price of Bitcoin is out of their control, but they can control how much Bitcoin they produce. So you want to make sure you invest in a company that has a very high hash rate. All right, now a lot of these slides I pulled off of the Marathon Digital Holdings website, and I'll leave a link in the description, and I'll also link all of the other articles that I'll be quoting in my video today. So if you want to check them out for yourself, they're down in the description. So what is Mara? Mara is one of the largest Bitcoin mining operations in North America, and this is a very, very simplified rundown of how Bitcoin miners work. So basically, you have a Bitcoin transaction that occurs in a broadcast and is broadcasted to the network. And then a miner pulls together pending Bitcoin transactions into a block. Once a block is formed, miners compete to hash their block, solving a cryptographic puzzle. Once the puzzle is solved, the network checks the miner's work, in essence verifies their proof of work, adheres to the rules of Bitcoin protocol. And then after that, the new block of verified transaction is attached to a chain of prior blocks, hence blockchain. And the reward for solving that cryptographic puzzle is Bitcoin. And at the moment of this recording, the prize or reward is 6.25 Bitcoins per block. And then over here, Mara has very kindly provided the definition of what it is to be mining and what a miner constitutes, which is a computer designed to solve these mathematical algorithms. So some more basic numbers on Mara. You'll see at the bottom right here, this is the date, and then you'll see how much Bitcoin they produce per month. And you'll see that this blue one is really what we're interested in. I mean, this navy blue is also interesting as well because it tells you how much assets they are holding. But this blue one is what I believe to be the most important because that gives you an idea of how many Bitcoins they're producing per month. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, you want to have that number be as high as possible so that you can have the largest amount of profits, the largest amount of revenue. So you'll see that they have been steadily increasing the amount of Bitcoin that they can produce per month. Starting in January of 2021, they were producing 176 Bitcoins per month. And fast forward to February of 2022, which is a couple months ago, they are now producing 4,143 Bitcoins per month, which is, again, a very large increase from 1 year. And that's really, really good because, again, as Bitcoin goes up in price, the value of this is going to be much, much more. This is the definition for hash rate that I pulled off of SoFi. So again, article in the description if you want to read it. But Bitcoin's hash rate refers to the amount of computing and processing power being contributed to the network through mining. Bitcoin mining is a vital process that keeps the digital currencies network maintained. This happens by a mammoth global network of mining machines, powerful computers built for this task. These machines mine Bitcoins by solving complex mathematical computations that verify Bitcoin transactions. So Mara, what they do is, again, they have this very large network of very strong computers that are solving these mathematical cryptographic equations, and they're getting Bitcoin as they solve these equations. And then lastly, I want to discuss why you would want to invest in Mara over other competitors. So right off the top of my head, and one that a lot of people know, is Riot Blockchain. That's another very big mining company, but you'll see there's a key difference between Mara and Riot. Mara at the moment has a 23.3 exahash hash rate in comparison to Riot's 12.8. And as you can see here, as time passes and Bitcoin becomes more scarce, Mara, Digital, and Riot's impressive hash rates, which these are, again, the two leaders in mining, they should become more valuable. So how I keep repeating, you want to have this number right here, the hash rate, to be as high as possible, because that means you're mining as much Bitcoin, you're being more efficient, getting more Bitcoins per year, per month, and that results in more revenue. So basically what this means is that Riot is slower at getting Bitcoin and Mara's faster. And for that reason, Mara has a much greater potential to produce more money, produce more Bitcoin. And then to wrap up the video, just to review the hypothetical example one more time. So again, Mara can control this number, which this number is the Bitcoin produced, or the hash rate. They can, and this is what they're doing right now at the moment, is they are investing their assets into getting more miners, and they're getting more computers, which are the miners. They're getting more miners, more computers produced, so that their hash rate goes up, so that they can produce more Bitcoins. And this is the number that they have no control over, the price of Bitcoin. That changes, goes up and down. But I personally am bullish on Bitcoin, so I'm predicting that Bitcoin is going to go up in value over the years. So this is going to be a higher number, but I don't know. And here we have two hypothetical scenarios. If in 1 year Bitcoin is sitting at 40,000 and Mara's producing 10,000 Bitcoins per year, then they net 400 million. And in that same scenario, except the difference is Bitcoin is sitting at 60,000, then they net $600 million. And again, this is just a very random number. I wanted to put closed numbers so we can get nice, easy computations. But in essence, what that means is you want to invest in a company that has a very high hash rate, because the hash rate has a multiplicative effect on the revenue produced. So higher the hash rate, the higher that number is going to be multiplied for the Bitcoin. The more Bitcoin to produce, the more profitable the company is, hypothetically speaking, theoretically speaking, and the more money you can make by investing in this company. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. I think I probably explained it in a much simpler way in the first part of the video. So if you want, you can rewind back to that part and rewatch that little segment. But hopefully it all made sense. And thank you all for watching. I hope you have a great day, and thank you.